and boy, we killed it. We can't, we nailed it. And I think that the biggest thing for me was that coming to you with all these crazy ideas, which some of them were mine, but I will say a fair share of those were also my bosses at the time. There was never one that you thought was silly or not worth pursuing. So I think that just the degree of attention to detail that you and your team add to things, no matter how big or small a project is, really goes a long way in just helping get the product finalized into market. I would say one of the early on hesitations on behalf of myself and my boss, Jeremy. Obviously, we were a young company, and this was a first for us, kind of going to offshore to source some of these products. And we're no stranger to the idea that we're sacrificing a little bit of margin to make that happen. Obviously, we understood that was going to be the case, and just trying to find a tangible way to measure. If we're giving up X amount of percent of margin, are we gaining that back in some way, shape, or form? Whether that's, are we getting a quality product? Are we getting quality service from Josh and his team? Are we getting quality communication from the factory? I mean, it's all kind of a bundle package, and I would say by far and away exceeded our expectations there. As a young company, we did not have what's called a PDGA championship level disc golf basket, which is kind of the gold standard for disc golf baskets in the industry. And that translates to a lot of different things for us as a brand. And that when you start to talk about coverage for major events, you do want to have a professional championship level basket out there that says in big bold letters dynamic discs. And not only do you want that out there, but you want it to be a quality product. And jumping right into that with Josh and his team was a little scary, because not only did I not know really what I was doing or how to navigate things, I think that was obviously a brand new product for Josh and his team as well. And we definitely had some hiccups in the road, some bumps in the road. I remember at the very first container load of baskets showed up, and they looked great and they sounded great. The chain, everything about it felt great. And we started getting them shipped out. And I want to say we shipped a course of baskets out to the East Coast somewhere in Florida. And it wasn't long, probably 6 months. And that same customer had sent us pictures. And I mean, this basket was basically looked like it had been sunken in the ocean. That was an oversight by me completely. It was just a complete one of those things that happens. And so we quickly pivoted and started implementing some serious QC measures with the factory. If I remember, we implemented, Josh and his team implemented a 48-hour salt spray test on all the baskets. And that literally shorted up every issue that we had. Him and I discussed the idea of being able to create what was, I think we referred to as a basket that's literally impenetrable. But that was going to not be cost effective. We talked about having that as an option, but I don't think we ever moved forward with that. But yeah, we did move forward with some extensive testing on the factory's end, and started labeling lot numbers on all the baskets to make that tracing a lot better, just to make sure that we could track it clear back to the basket's first creation, to see where did something happen on the factory, was it our end, where was the mistake made. And that solved a lot of problems for us. I think the biggest, most positive thing to come from our long relationship with Josh was not only the multiple projects that we threw his way, whether talking about shorts or disc golf baskets or a portable basket. We even visited maybe producing frisbees. I think at one time we talked about bags. He was always ready to roll. The project didn't matter what we were doing or how we were going to get it done, but he was ready to get started on it. And I think that. And I mentioned this earlier, but I think the peace of mind of just knowing that whether it was Josh or somebody from his team, they were always working in the background for us, and not having to consciously always have that on your mind. And at the time, I had a lot on my plate. I wasn't just doing product development. I was doing a little bit of operational stuff, a little bit of e-commerce stuff. And that was such a massive thing for me, because I knew whether it was Josh or any member of his team, they were on top of it. And just knowing that you've got someone else in your corner that's going to represent your brand in the way that you hope, in a very positive manner, but B, they're also going to go the extra mile as if it were their own brand, really goes a long ways. Really goes along. It's definitely a turnkey solution to any kind of product development, product placement, marketing. I mean, it really is turnkey. Initially, Josh in his team really excelled in the idea of the procurement side. And then I think that evolved into this, development side, and then that kind of meshed, and then marketing kind of fit in there somewhere. And then it really did ultimately turn into a full turnkey solution and service to a lot of different things for us. Whether that's CEO type level where my boss was, or even down to a couple steps below that. I would invite pretty much anybody that's finding any sort of challenge in the road when it comes to offshore product sourcing, product procurement. That could even be domestic, product design, product development, anything in that field. I think Josh and his team are definitely the turnkey solution, the best route to go.
If you're running a growth stage product company but still stuck managing every factory detail, you're not alone. Our clients save up to 10 to 15 hours per week, get supplier matches in as little as 24 hours, routinely save tens of thousands of dollars on tooling costs, and accelerate their time to market by months without hiring full-time staff or locking into long-term contracts. Are you ready to see exactly how this would work for your specific situation? Book a strategy call to design your custom solution today. We'll map out timelines, deliverables, and show you the exact ROI you can expect.